How y'all doing? This is a lot of trouble to go through just to talk about some celebrities. Okay. But anyway, I just finished reading Bobby Brown's autobiography. And I do want to say that I did not grow up listening to Bobby Brown's music. I listened to music basically from the late 60s and 70s. Earth, Wind & Fire, Kool and the Gang, Donna Summer, Aretha Franklin, etc. During those formative teenage years. But I heard about Bobby Brown. I knew he was considered the bad boy of R&B. I knew about Whitney. I remember she was on the cover of People magazine, etc. I mean, I kept up with the music, but I am not... I do not eat and sleep and breathe the music industry. But I knew about them. I saw them on Soul Train when it was on and so forth. But a lot of people told Whitney that she shouldn't marry Bobby Brown. You know, her family told her, people in the music industry, executives told her, do not marry Bobby Brown. But actually, she did marry him, obviously. And I think a lot of people going by the visuals. You know, she's just upper middle class black girl and he's from the streets. And so maybe she can't handle him. But you know what? But she thought she could handle him. Okay. And I guess, you know, there's a stubbornness there. I think a lot of people go by the visuals. You know, if two pretty people marry, people think they're going to last forever. And they both could be monsters. One or the other could be a monster. Okay, if two ugly people marry, then people are going to think they're going to last. Okay, because nobody else wants the ugly person. But they may, one or the other may be a monster. You cannot go by the visuals. And I have to admit, I went by the visuals also. I thought that they were just unequally yoked, shouldn't be together, because I was going by the visuals. Upper middle class black girl, kind of a rough guy from inner city Boston. I thought they were just an odd couple too. I didn't think they should marry. Okay, but of course my opinion doesn't matter. Okay. Now, and I really did not hardly buy any music from that era. In fact, I don't think I have bought any CDs since about 1983. I would buy a CD if it's really interesting. Like one time I bought something from the Temptations. But during this time period, my choice was either to buy a CD or diapers or formula. So what am I going to choose? It just wasn't my world at that particular time. I'm going to choose the diapers and the formulas. So he wasn't really on my radar, even though, you know, I read the magazines, I read People magazine. I know even to this day who was singing, who was doing what. Okay. And I guess Whitney figured that everybody wants to get in Bobby Brown's pants, so she wants to get in his pants too, okay? This is the truth. They both were drunks. They both were addicts. And anybody on the street would tell you, do not marry another addict. Why? Because one or the other will enable you. Everybody on the street, no, you should not marry another addict if you are an addict yourself. One of you has to have some common sense. And neither one of them had any common sense. Okay? And I also think that Whitney was unfair to Bobby to even marry him. Because that is not where her affections were. Because she was gay. Okay? And I think she was unfair to Bobby. She should have just been honest with him. She's been denying that for 20 or 30 years that she even told Life magazine, because I read the article, that she was not gay. She couldn't even be honest with Life magazine. She could not be honest with Bobby. That's not where her affections lied with Bobby or any other man, because she was gay. Okay, now I think she should have been fair to Bobby. It just wasn't fair to him to marry her. It just wasn't. You know, to be truthful, the only time I've seen Whitney smile, have a true human happy smile, was when she was with her mother, Robin, or her daughter. That's the only time I've seen her have a true I am happy smile. Those pictures that she took with Bobby seemed always to be contrived, made up. But see what happened. They stayed together for 14 years, was married for 14 years. They were unequally yoked from day one. Really, even he said on the wedding day, she snorted a line of cocaine. Now that should tell you she really doesn't want to be married to. Anytime she has to get stoned to even go down the altar, that should tell her that maybe she shouldn't get married to him. Okay, so what happened? They destroyed each other financially. They destroyed each other psychologically. They destroyed each other physically. Okay, that's what happens when you are unequally yoked. When you marry somebody that you shouldn't, you destroy each other financially in every which way. Now, I can submit that to you. I think if she had stayed with Robin, maybe she'd be alive today. I don't know. I do think that they stayed married way, way too long. When you are unequally yoked, you should, okay, that's a dumb dog. Okay, when you are unequally yoked, you should only be married 1 or 2 years max. And go ahead and get divorced and get that over with, okay? But why stay miserable and married for 14 years? Okay, they should have had some counseling before they even got married. But they destroyed each other financially. They're just two drunks, two addicts that got married. A tragedy, a Greek tragedy, a real tragedy. Have a nice day.